All righty. So this is how you get to the Concur travel website, and it's www.concurrsolutions.com. Joanne will be sending out an email to everyone to let you know the web address as well as your login, and then instructions on how you can create your own password so that you can get in here and adjust and add information to your profile as well as use the booking tool. So today we're just going to go over how you use the booking tool and how you actually do your forgot password if you need to create a new password. It's the best and easiest way to do it. So you're just going to put in your company email address and click on forgot password. And then you want to click on this link, send me the link, and then hit submit. And then that will then send you a link that you can create your own new password for the site. So let me put in here my password for your site. All right, so this is what the site looks like. This is what we call the landing page. And then the travel tab is here. The landing page has a lot of the same things on it as the travel tab, but the travel tab is geared towards travel, so it does have some additional features on it. Let me point out that you can book your travel from the landing page, so the trip searches are here. It's the same as the travel tab. Alerts are exactly the same on your landing page as they are on the travel tab as well. Company notes, this is where we put some documentation to keep you informed about things that are going on or things that the company would like you to utilize as far as vendors or whatnot. It is all tailored to Panavision. And to get to the company notes in this instance, you're going to click on Read More to expand those notes out. On the Travel tab, those are already expanded out for you. You can access your upcoming trips from the landing page as well. And then these facts and stats are brought in by Concur, and they're posted to every website. They change periodically. They're just something fun to look at. I'm going to come back to the Travel tab here in just a moment. I would like to spend a few minutes revolving around the profile piece. So to get to your profile, you're going to click on Profile and then Profile Settings. Then you're going to go to Personal Information. And this is where your profile resides. You only have to fill this information out once. This information is used from the tool as well as the full service part of it. So if you need to talk to an agent, they would also utilize the information that you have in this profile. So you're going to notice at first that you're not going to be able to change your name. One thing is that we are asking that you make sure that your name is your legal name that you're utilizing as far as your documentation that you're utilizing to travel with is the same as the name in the tool. If it is not, please feel free to contact Joanne and she will make sure that it gets fixed. It is able to be fixed, but it's fixed from an administration point and not from the user side. You will be able to put in a nickname, and if you don't have a middle name on the site, it will either ask you to click that you don't have a middle name or put in the middle name, and then that's it. Once you put it in, then you have to go back to Joanne to have it fixed if it's not right. All right, I'm going to kind of skip through here because a lot of it is self-explanatory and very easy. I do want to point out that we do have all the company locations embedded into the tool, so you can click on a company location, and if you click on this little box here next to the address, it will auto-funnel those addresses in there for you. So it's kind of a nice, quick, and easy way of associating yourself with a particular office. If you're traveling for multiple offices and you don't want to associate, you don't have to. It's not required. Home address. Here's some required elements. We do have to have a home phone number, work phone number, and a mobile phone number. Your email, this first email address should always be your corporate email address. You can add additional email addresses in here. So you would click on this Add an Email Address. place in your Gmail or whatever email account that you want in here. You click on yes and then hit OK for those travel notifications. What that does is then it allows the system to send email your emailed itineraries to your personal email account. And it can be a spouse's or significant other's email address, or like I said, a personal email address. You're able to add 2 additional email addresses in this area. Contact information. Again, these are all really self-explanatory. Just, you know, select, they're just from the drop downs. This is kind of a neat little feature. You can put in an airport by either typing it in or knowing what the airport code is, and it will then populate that airport if you're going out of that airport on a frequent basis for you on the travel search page. So you don't have to populate it all the time. It still allows you to wipe it out if you don't want to use it, but at least it will save you some keystrokes if you want to put something in that area. I'm going to talk a little bit, and skip down here to these frequent flyer programs. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Again, you're going to click on Add a Program from the sidebar, and you notice that there's only 5 places that you can add frequent guest numbers, and most people have more than 5. So what you need to do is just go ahead and add whatever 5 you have. If you've got more than that, you just simply click Save so that it saves it. Come back out here, hit Add a Program, and add the next 5. You can add car, rail, hotel, whichever way you want. You can do all car at one time, all rail, or a combination thereof. The air is most of your popular ones as far as domestic U.S. are at the top in this yellow box, and then they're alphabetical from there. You'll notice that when you click on some of these airline reservation or airline frequent guest numbers, with American Airlines especially, you see here that you can default your American Airlines number to hit all the One World bookings. So if you travel on another One World airline, then your American Airlines frequent flyer number would be used towards that by selecting this box. For car, again, most popular ones at the top, alphabetical from there. Hotel is a little bit different. We've got pink ones, and we have yellow ones, and then we have white ones. So the pink ones, what this is that these are for all pieces and parts of the brand. So if I were to select Marriott, for instance, and then that is going to be applied by selecting the one in the pink to every brand within that Marriott chain. So it means Fairfields, Residence Inn, Marriott, Courtyard, the whole gamut of what Marriott owns. So you don't have to sit there and put it in for every single solitary part and piece of Marriott. Same thing for Starwood and all these that are in pink. Then if they're not associated with a chain, or you just want it to be associated with a particular vendor type, you can, of course, the most popular ones are in this yellow color, and then everything alphabetical from there. I'm going to pause here. Does anybody have any questions revolved around anything I've covered so far? Please feel free to type in to the questions box, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, I am not seeing any, so I'm going to move on. We'll talk a little bit about used tickets. So the first box for unused tickets, this particular realm of unused tickets are displayed in 3 different areas. The first one is in your Concur profile. These are your legacy carriers. These are everything except for Southwest. So American, Delta, United, all of those will populate into this area here. I'll show you the other 2 areas. I'll talk about the other 2 areas as we go through the tool, but this is the first of the 3. With Southwest, this is the only area that you'll see Southwest unused tickets. So the way that this works is if you book on the tool and you cancel on the tool with Southwest, then Southwest will then populate your unused ticket credit into this area. But if you should book on the tool and cancel either with the agency or cancel with the airline, it's not going to know that you canceled, and so it's not going to populate your unused ticket credits in this area. So what you need to do is come in here and click on Add a Ticket Credit. Should you have booked or canceled with a agent or with Southwest Direct, make sure you get the record locator, the valid until date, and the ticket amount, and you'll populate all three of those areas and then hit Add a Ticket Credit. Once you've done that, then you'll see the ticket credit in this area. Any ticket credits that you have must be populated in this area prior to you booking another Southwest ticket. Reason for that is because when you go to book on the tool for Southwest, it's going to ask you, or if it sees it, it's going to say, hey, look, I see that you have a $300 ticket credit on Southwest. Do you want to reuse that ticket credit towards the purchase of this travel? And if you say yes, it's going to immediately use that ticket credit towards the booking, and we'll remove it from this area. So that's how that works. I know that's a little bit wild and different from most places, so let me see if I've got any questions. I am not seeing any questions. All right, so I'm going to continue to move on. Another required element is the TSA information, so you must select either male or female gender as well as your birthday. You are able to put in a redress number or a pre-check number if you have those. It's also called a known number. You can also put in your passport information if you'd like by clicking on Add a Passport. If you should do that, make sure you fill out every one of these boxes. Concur has been known to err out when selecting flights if not all these boxes are filled out. So please fill out all the boxes. You can also add in a visa if you've got visa information that you want to add in. Travel assistants and travel arrangers. This is where you can add, if you've got somebody who you want to be able to book travel for you or assist you in some way, shape, or form on Concur Travel. You can do that by hitting Add an Assistant. Then you're going to search for the individual's last name, select that individual, and click on Can Book Travel for Me. Once you've done that and hit Save, you will see their name appear in this area. So when their name appears in this area, then they now have the ability to come in here and help you adjust your profile and also book travel for you. And I'll talk a little bit more about how you can book travel for others if you are considered a travel planner. But I want to take a moment here to talk about this Never person. So if you see a William Never or a Never something or other in this area, this is the agency, myself, one of my colleagues, Concur Travel, coming in here to help assist with some issue problem that you might have had. And so that's what that is. It's not a breach of security. It is us trying to assist you in some shape or another. Now you can always come in here if you don't want that individual to be able to book travel for you anymore, or you're mad at them and you don't want them to book travel for you anymore. You can click on this little trash can and it'll remove that person for you. And then they'll have no access to book travel for you again. Credit cards. Again, you're going to come out here to add a credit card. You can put in whatever name you want here to name your credit card. Your name should auto-populate. You're going to select the vendor of the credit card, your name, your number, and your expiration date. And then you notice there are these little boxes here for plane, rail, car, and hotel. What this is telling the system is that I want to default this particular credit card to use it towards my purchase of airline tickets, rail tickets, car tickets, or hotel tickets, or hotel reservations. So should we need to apply a credit card towards any of your bookings and you want to use that same credit card, you're going to want to check all 4 boxes. If you have one credit card that you want to do plane tickets and rail tickets for, You'll just check these 2 boxes. You'll put in the next credit card and then check the other 2 boxes for the other parts and pieces. You're going to put in your billing address and you're going to click on Save. Once you've done that, you'll see that the icons that you've selected for each card will then appear. You can put in additional credit cards and not select these boxes. Those are personal credit cards. You can do that. You can certainly do that if you'd like, but you do need to have a credit card in here for these parts and pieces in order to make the system work properly for you. Once you have completed all of the changes that you've made in your profile, you're going to come out here and click on this blue Save, and no matter where within this blue Save, whether it's the top, middle, or bottom, as long as you're clicking on one of these blue saves, it's going to push all that data down to the airline system where the agents can access it to assist you on a full service basis. Do I have any questions? Will there be a written guide for us to follow later? No, I wish there's not a written guide, but there is some tools here. So I am recording this. The company is going to post the recording to your intranet, and there is some help screens. We've got a help here, and we also have a help on with little videos of each segment on the company notes page for you, so you can access it there as well. So and then you've also got Joanne, who is pretty familiar with the tool, and you've got the agency that can assist you as well. So if you've got any questions there, just know that the agency is here to assist you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, let me see if I got some more questions. Sorry, I'm laughing. Add a comment here. So if you are booking for coworkers and you would need to have a company, you have to have a Concur profile. You have to have a Concur login in order for that individual to select you within the piece down here where they can make you an administrator or a travel planner for them. And even if you're not traveling, you have to have the required elements in before it will allow you to continue the booking process, even though you're booking for other coworkers and not for yourself. So those are the requirements within the tool, and I think I had a question like that here. Trying to get my box here to expand so I can see this better. All right, I think I answered all the questions so far. All right, so I'm going to proceed on. Now, if you're booking for coworkers, there's an ability to change your setting for what the screen looks like. And I'm going to come back to this piece here where it says System Settings. But I'm going to go over here to talk a little bit about it, because I need to show you what it looks like first so you can make a decision whether or not you like the look of that. So let's talk a little bit about the Travel tab. All right, so you're going to notice that we have some additional features up here at the top that we don't have on our landing page. Our company notes do open up automatically for you. This is your resources should you have any questions or need any help, or these are your dedicated travel agents and their hours. Helpful links, this is what I was talking about. These are little recorded tutorials on Concur Travel and mobile, and you're certainly able to get in there and look and view those. Following back up here, travel alerts. Let me talk a few minutes about that. So there is an ability to select or say, yeah, I want TripIt. And what is TripIt? TripIt is a program that will allow you to place your reservations on a mobile device. And you can sign up for it. It's free. By clicking here, you can also hit Learn More and see more to the tool about it. It does not give you the gate changes and cancellations. It just allows you to put the information on your mobile device. Now, the agency also provides what they call trip case. And if you sign up for trip case, it also allows you to put your document or your reservations on a mobile device. And that particular tool gives you the gate changes and cancellations for free. And so in that case, if you would rather do that, you can always hit no thanks, and then this goes away and you'll never see it again. So I would like to talk a little bit about e-receipts, and this is kind of a different animal because most sites do not have something like this. You just click on sign up, and the company would really like you all to sign up for e-receipts. To activate it, you're going to click on e-receipt activation. You can read all this information, but basically it's saying I accept. You're going to hit I accept. What it's doing is, the reason you have to do that is because the way that the data goes between Concur and the vendor, the most unique piece that they have in common is your credit card. So the way that that data comes into Concur is via matching up the credit card data. So the credit card that you are going to use at your car in your hotel must be in your Concur travel profile prior to your booking. So make sure those credit cards are in there, sign up for e-receipts, and then once you do that, this is what an e-receipt looks like with a car vendor. Not all of the vendors participate, but many of the major ones do. And I do know that National and Enterprise does indeed participate in the e-receipt business. So you can still get your paper receipt, but if the dog ate it or went through the washing machine and the dryer and now you can't read it, you at least have an opportunity to be able to pull that e-receipt right out of this tool pretty easily. And I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. So here's an example of hotel. And again, most of your major vendors do participate, but not everyone does. These come into the tool within 24 to 72 hours after you've taken your travel. All right. Back. See if we've got any questions on that. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Okay, good. All righty, so up here at the top, travel arrangers. Those people who are booking for others and have at least one other person that they can book for have an opportunity to change their view. Or they can leave the view like I've left it and then just use this tab, whichever way you would like to do it. The difference is you have this upcoming travelers tab. And this upcoming travelers tab is allows you to select whether or not it's 1 day, weekly, monthly, however. It populates these dates. You can hit search once you place that traveler's name here, and it will pre-populate here in this area all the trips between those dates for that individual traveler. So maybe somebody doesn't have access to their information. They're asking you, when did I have an opening? You can come in here and look at all their trips and see when they might have an opening or when so-and-so is traveling. So it's kind of a nice, quick, handy way of doing that. This I'm assisting tells you all of the people that you are able to assist travel for. To enable this, you go over here to Profile Settings, and then System Settings. Click on the drop-down and select Travel Arranger View. This will only populate if you have at least one person that you can book travel for on the tool. Otherwise, you will not be able to see that ability. Trip Library, what this is where all of your trips are stored. So your past, present, and withdrawn trips, or what we call or canceled trips, will all be able to be presented in this area. So if it defaults to booking date, you can certainly search by travel date. These date ranges change, but They do default, and you can change them to whatever you want. If you're looking for canceled trips, you're going to select this box here and hit search. Once you've done that, you'll get a list of itineraries or past date or canceled trips or whatever you've searched for in this area. You'll select the trip just by clicking on the trip, and then you'll have an option of whether or not you can view those e-receipts if you signed up for e-receipts. So it'll be on the left-hand side, and like I said, once you've selected that, it will pre-populate as long as it's come into the tool. Templates. This is an ability to create a template and utilize that template. So I can create the template from this area here, but to be quite honest with you, it's kind of cumbersome. I think it's easiest and fastest to book your booking the first time. So this is people who are going to book travel from point A to point B, and they travel the same flights. They don't want to have to look for those flights every single time that they come into the tool. They're utilizing those flights on a monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly basis, and that allows them to create those templates. And we'll come back to this. This is just the area in which you would access them and book from, because I'm going to show you the easier way than that. Tools, this is just your different areas of the tool that has hyperlinks. And of course, the App Center, you can click on here, but all your mobile devices, all your major mobile devices, with the exception of BlackBerry, have the ability to learn more. You can learn more about the mobile pieces. It is a free app, and you can book and change your trips just like you can on the website. So, I have any questions on that? And then I'm going to go into one more thing on this home page, and then we're going to go into booking. So let me see if I've got any questions. All right, I am not seeing any, so I am going to move on. All right, so one last thing, upcoming trips, of course, they will populate here once we have an upcoming trip. And I am going to do a booking. So you can see I can book air, car, hotel. This is rail, but if you're using Amtrak to book, you're going to want to book on this piece here rather than this piece. You get more results, and I don't know why, but you get more results on Amtrak on this, booking it through the train and rail tab than the rail tab. I can book round trip, one way, and multi-destination. I click in here, I can type out my airport. Let's just type out Los Angeles and select my airport. Or if I know my code, I can put in my code. This is really similar to all your websites out there with your dates. You can either use these morning, afternoon, or evenings, or you can come in here and select a specific time. This is defaulted to departure, because most people utilize departure rather than arrival, but you can always switch it to arrival if you'd like. This is a little different from what your average website on the net is. So this 3 hours here, and this plus and minus, what this means is it's going to give you a 6-hour time result. So it's going to look at 3 hours prior to this 9 a.m. and 3 hours after this 9 a.m. If you're not finding something within your results, you're going to want to come out here and either change your time or change your default, or change the default to expand it out a little further. You can also narrow it if you wanted to narrow it down. That's what this is. If I select this box here, it's going to allow me to get search results for cars once I've selected my flights. I can also come into here. This little drop-down arrow will allow you to select a vendor if you'd like. If I select this box, this allows me to get search results for hotels once I've selected my air and my car. And you'll notice that company locations. So I can, if I had a company location, and I, of course, chose a city that we don't have a company location, unfortunately. If I had a company location in the San Francisco area, then that's going to populate here, and you can choose the company location to look at hotels and book hotels from. So it's going to hone those hotels into that company location. Maybe you're looking for Times Square. Well, if you put in Times Square here, it will then hone it in for Times Square. So that's what this reference point is. Otherwise, you can put in airport, and it will look around the airport within the 30-mile radius. You can also put in Hyatt or whatever vendor that you want in this area. So you don't have to use it, but that is there if you're wanting to hone in. I'm going to unselect the hotel because I would like to manipulate that a little bit while we're booking, so I can show you a few things. Okay, so this allows you to select whatever classes of service that you're looking for. Schedule versus price. So the system is set up as a default to show you schedule versus price. What the difference is price is going to couple the outbound and the return together and give you an itinerary where the flights are already coupled together because of price. Where schedule will allow you to select the outbound and then the return, and then it's going to say, okay, price these for me. You're going to price them, and it's going to say, okay, here's what the price is for this itinerary versus this is what the price is for maybe a lower cost alternative. At that point, you can either choose the lower cost alternative or choose the one that you had already selected. You can also specify air carrier. So most popular ones at the top and alphabetical from there. I'm going to hit search. I didn't finish something in my profile. One moment, please. What am I missing? I don't see anything missing. Well, I used this the other day, and it was fine. So let me see. Let's try it one more time. It is not liking that. So let me do one last thing. I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to sign out and use another user here real quick because I need to get past this point, and this is the quickest way for me to fix this problem. I apologize. All right, so let's just pick, let's do San Francisco to New York, because I think you guys have some company locations there, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. So let's just look at that one. And here, and let's do a search. Alrighty. I have any questions before I continue on? Let's look right here. I know everybody wants to know how to book for others, and I promise you get to that. I just want to get through a booking first, and then we'll show you how to book for others. So I know I keep talking all around it, but we will get to that, I promise. All right, so this is your search results. And you can, if there was nonstops, you can select the nonstop here, and it will funnel it for you or filter it for you so that you will only see the nonstops by selecting that box. If I wanted to only see United, I can select that, and it filters it for me. So if I hadn't have selected, which I did not, a preferred airport or a specific airport during my initial search, I can certainly do that here by just simply selecting the box. Southwest is a little bit different. in the fact that, let me select Southwest here, that it's going to give you this view fares. You're going to select flight details. It's going to show you all the flight details, and then you can select, it's going to pre-select the least fare, the want to get away fares, but if you're looking for the anytime or the business select, make sure that you select it for the outbound and the return. So this is the outbound up here, and this is the return. So that's how that works, and I'm going to come back to this yellow button here in just a moment. So I wanted to go back to all results. Okay, so if I wanted to make a change, for instance, to my dates of change, I can unclick this button here, and it will show me all my search parameters. I can make the change and hit search, and it will refresh and give me my new search results in this area. One last thing I want to point out, well, actually there's two last things I want to point out in this area. So for those people who are booking for others, if you're coming in here and just looking around to find out what flights are going from point A to point B because somebody needs some sort of choices, you can click this button and it will give you all the choices that you're looking at right now in a nice, neat little window. You can click on print flights and hand it to them, or hit email flights, and you can put in their email address and it will email them exactly what you were looking at on this particular window. That's a nice, fast, easy way to get somebody some choices if they're looking for choices. You'll also notice that we have the Delta has come out with some basic economy fares. And in our industry, we call them Delta E fares, and they don't allow for pre-assigned seats. They don't allow for complimentary upgrades. They don't allow for refunds. You can't change them. And so we are basically saying in this area that we are hiding those details, or we're showing you the details, but this is how you get to other details of the flight. So if I select Delta, and this is a Delta E market, which this particular market is not, you're going to click on Flight Details. You're then going to click on View More Fares. And once you click on View More Fares, it will come back with a number of different fares. As long as you, this first one will say Delta E and it will gray out the box. But as soon as you select another one, it will then turn this green based on your travel policy. So that's the goal, is to make sure that when you get Delta, that the button is green or some other color besides gray, and then you'll be able to select book those flights and you'll be good to go. So let me go back to schedule, and I am going to go to, not that one. Let's go to Virgin America. Let me select an outbound, and I'm going to select the return. We're going to price these options. Oh. So it tells me, let me hide this here. So it tells me that this is what my price is on the flights that I selected, and then here are some other options. So actually this is the least expensive option versus some of these other options. Now you'll notice that these buttons are green, these are blue, and we have some that are yellow. So the green buttons are within travel policy. The view buttons just mean that you're going to have to select the flight details, and then you'll be able to select those flights. The yellow buttons, basically, I've been a bad girl, and now I'm breaking travel policy, and I'm going to have to give it a reason why I'm breaking travel policy. So if I select these flight details, it's going to tell me exactly what I'm breaking. So in this instance, I'm breaking the airfare is greater than the least logical airfare plus $100. I can still book this. It's still going to allow me to book it. But what happens is that it's going to ask me a question. So if I select this, it's going to ask me a question. I'm going to have to select an answer. And then I can put any additional notes I want to in here. I don't have to. And I'm going to hit save. And it's going to allow me to continue on with the booking process. All right. So for each part and piece that you book on the tool, you will get this review and reserve page. So it's just asking you to review what you've booked. Is it what you're looking for? You can put in a frequent flyer number on the fly if it's not in your profile. You can view the seats here if you'd like. It's going to pre-assign seats based on your profile preferences, but you can always change your seats. And changing your seats are down the road a little bit, and I'll come to that here in just a few minutes. And then you can select your credit card. I'm going to say yes, I want to reserve them. And now what it's doing is it's starting to pull over my profile, book my flights, and it's going to give me the search results for those cars that I selected on my initial piece. So that's why it takes just a quick moment. While we're waiting, do we have any questions? Nope, I'm not seeing any questions. Either I'm doing a good job or you all are falling asleep over there. I hope you're not falling asleep. Anyway, this matrix works exactly the same way as the matrix that the airline had. So I can hone in on all intermediate size cars if I want, or I can look at all national or all enterprise or whatever vendor I want. Know that national and enterprise are the company preferred vendors, and that if you book on this tool, the insurance is included when booking national and enterprise. So that is a big key, is your insurance. You won't have to take out any additional insurance. Insurance is already covered by booking on the tool for these two vendors. Should a national or enterprise not be available, you'll notice that there is one diamond here for Avis, Budget, and Hertz. There are discounts that are being applied here, but the insurance is not included. And then all these other ones come below that because we don't have any discounts being applied. The tool works exactly the same way with these buttons. So everything that's within policy is going to be green. Outside of travel policy is going to be yellow, and you'll get that extra question. It's not going to stop the booking process. You'll notice that enterprise and national are e-receipt enabled. Just going to simply select one. I get that review and reserve. It's now placing that car rental reservation in between my flights, so that's going to follow exactly the way I would travel. And sometimes this web piece slows this product down a little bit, and sometimes when I talk too much, it also slows it down a little bit, so bear with me here. Look, while we're waiting, look forward to see if we have any questions. I am not seeing any additional questions. Okay, I'm going to continue on. All right, so I did pre-select on my initial search results for hotels, and I can see those hotels here. The company preferred hotels should come to the top of the search results. You can pan down and look at all the other results as well. The buttons work exactly the same way. The green buttons, yellow buttons, and you may even see a gray button in the hotels as well. The gray buttons mean we're showing you the information, but we prefer that you not book that particular room type on the tool. You can certainly contact the agency and they can assist you with that particular room type. You'll notice that we do have preferred American Express rates coming through on the tool. These rates are being offered through the agency, and you do not have to have an American Express card to book those rates. We are also offering the company preferred rates on the tool as well, and you'll be able to book those as well. In this instance, the company location is here, and then all of your hotels that are around it are in here. Let's see if I've got any questions about hotels. All right, I'm not seeing any questions on hotels. I am not going to book a hotel because hotels don't like us booking fake reservations. So I'm going to skip the hotel. All right. So the key here is that we have 3 steps in order to complete a reservation. We're just to the first step. So if I had not selected that car or hotel button on the front page during my initial search criteria, I could go here and add a car or add a hotel on the fly. So I can add it while I'm still booking my reservation, even if I don't select it on that initial search page. I can also come in here and maybe something changed. I need to cancel all my air, or I need to cancel my car. I can come in here by clicking on these pieces and cancel those parts and pieces. Here's where you change your seat. So if I wanted to change my seat because I'm wanting to sit by my coworker, I'm just going to come in here. This is where I'm sitting currently. Maybe I need to sit here, or maybe I need to sit there because I have my coworkers here. To switch my person to just by selecting the button that I want to sit in, and then hit change seat. That seat will change, and you'll see the change on your itinerary here. You can go down through each one of the flights. So you just click on each one at a time, hit change seat after you've selected your seat. Each time, once you've gone through all 4 of your legs, if you want to change all 4 legs, you're just going to hit close, and it takes you back to where you were. And you'll see your newly selected seats here in the tool. All right. If I needed to cancel my car because now my coworker is going to take the car on, I can cancel my car if I need to. This is a way to review everything. Your cancellation penalties for your air are in here as well, and your costs. To get to the next step, we're going to hit next. At this point, most of these boxes here are optional. We have one box, which is provide the purpose of trip, which is required on the tool. So you can name the trip whatever you want. You don't have to. This box here is so that if you have something that you need to talk to an agent about, you can put a box in here. Maybe I want a conference room rate at a hotel. You can put that information in here. It will stop the ticketing process. And as we all know, tickets are never guaranteed until the reservation is ticketed. But you can put something in here. It will result usually in a higher service fee as well, because we're asking for agent assistance at this point. So I would just use this as a, as needed basis. This box here is required. It's the only required element on this particular page. If I don't put anything in there and I hit next, you're going to see a pop-up message that says you have to put something in there. So, and you can see I'm on my second step, so I'm going to put in testing site, or whatever your purpose of trip is. And to hit next, that takes us on, it takes us to the next step of the purchase process. I could also hold the reservation here, and holding the reservation normally will allow you to hold it for 24 hours, but it is based on ticketing time limit, and reservations are not guaranteed until ticketed. So you can hold it. I'm going to hit next so you can see what the full purchase process looks like. So my last step is one last once over for looking at what all I have booked. And then I'm going to come down here and hit purchase ticket. At this point, it is finishing it up. So you'll see this is what we want to get to, whether we're booking air, car, hotel, through the tool all in one reservation, or we're just booking car and hotel separately because we're driving there. We want to get to this finished page. This is how the tool knows that you want this reservation. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get to what we call the finished page. I'm going to go back to the Travel Center. So this upcoming trip, this trip that I just booked came up here into the upcoming trip. You'll notice that sometimes the status will say confirmed. That means it just hasn't been ticketed yet. Sometimes the status will say sending to agency if you get in there really quickly. And that's because the information is being placed and being sent to the agency. And then once the ticket has been ticketed, it's going to say ticketed. To access the trip, we're just going to click on the trip, name, and at this point, maybe I didn't add a car or a hotel to my booking initially. I just needed the flights. Now I know I need to have a car or a hotel. I can click on that trip and you can see I can come back in here and add a car or a hotel to this trip. And that's really the best practice, is to do it this way, to add the car and hotel to your reservation so that everything is in one spot. So all of your data for your trip is in one area rather than having a car booked on one reservation, the air booked on one reservation, and the hotel booked on another reservation. You can see I can print the itinerary on a one-off basis. I can email an itinerary as well, again, on a one-off basis. I can open it in my Outlook. I signed up for e-receipts, so here's where I would access my e-receipts, again, within 24 to 72 hours, as long as that credit card was in your Concur profile and I have signed up for it. I can view trip history. We use that as an agency. Create the template. This is where I wanted to get. So creating the template, you're just going to click on Create Template. I can name this template whatever I want to. Once I have named it, I'm going to hit Save. And now I have a template for each one of these things. So if I come in here and I now want to book for Los Angeles to New York, and these are the flights I always want to take, I can click on Book. It's going to ask you your new dates, and then you're going to go ahead and proceed with the booking process rather than going in there and finding those flights every single time. So that's the easiest way to create a template, is to come out to your first booking and make that. If the flights have changed, because now we have a time change and the flights have changed slightly, it's going to tell you that. So you will get those messages if the flights have changed. Clone a trip. So cloning a trip, this is for those people who can book for others. So if you're booking, you booked your first trip for your first individual, and now you need to clone that same trip for another individual who's going to be traveling with them. You're going to click on Clone a Trip, and anybody that you have access to book for will be in this area here. You'll select that person, and then it will continue on and allow you to book for that person. So now it says, okay, you want all this stuff? Okay, fine. We'll go back and look for all that. But maybe I don't want the car. So I unselect the car. It's only going to look for the flights, and I'm going to hit Next, and it's going to continue on the booking process. And you notice my name has changed up here. So I am now booking for this individual. When I want to be done with booking for him, I'm just going to come to this green button here and hit Done Acting for Others, and it takes me back to me. So my name is back to myself. One last thing on this page is share a trip. So, or there's actually two last things. So share a trip, what this is an ability to send an email with complete details to another coworker. So it's another way of emailing your itinerary details to another coworker. And of course, canceling a trip. I can come in here and cancel the full trip. Before I carry on to booking for others, I'm going to see if we have any questions, and then I will cover how to get in and book for another individual. All right, let me just double check. still seeing a lot of those old questions, so let me just doing one last once over to make sure I didn't miss anything. Alrighty, I don't see anything. Okay. Okay, so booking for other people. Let me get over to the travel tab. So I'm a travel arranger and I can book for someone else. I come up here and now I want to book for my other individual. I am going to come in here and I'm going to click on this box, and everybody that I have the ability to book for should be able to be accessed from this box as long as they have selected me within their profile. So now that I want to book for this person, I'm just going to select him, hit Start Session. You're going to notice that my name changes, and as long as my name is the name that you've selected, then you will be able to book for that person, and the booking process is exactly the same. When I get done booking for someone, I'm going to click on that box and hit Done Acting for Others, and it takes me right back to me. And again, let me just reiterate, the way you get the access to book for someone else is for them to go into their travel profile settings, go to Personal Information, and come down here to the Travel Assistance and Arrangers area, add an assistant by searching for the last name, saying that they can book for you, and hitting Save. And then hitting Save here. Once you've done that, then the other individual will have access to book for you. They will also have access to get into your profile. So I forgot to cover that, so let me go back to this area here. If I am wanting to adjust William Never T's profile, I'm going to hit Start Session. If I come in here and I click Profile Settings, I'm now in William T's profile, so I can help this person adjust anything within their profile just as they are able to do so. All right, now let's see if we've got any additional questions. All right, I am not seeing any additional questions. And I am right at the top of the hour, so I am not seeing any additional questions. We'll go ahead and end the call for today. I want to thank you for your time and your business. And please feel free to reach out to Joanne or the agency for any assistance. Thanks so much and take care.